Hey, welcome to my shop. I'm Jeff. In this video today, I'm going to show you how I made this beautiful bowl from those wooden scraps from the shop that I started with in the previous video. So if you stick around, I'll show you how this is done. And if you like, please subscribe and feel free to share with your friends who might be interested. Thanks a bunch. Okay, so I got my two sort of boards here, milled up just from those scraps. So now it's sort of starting to look like maybe turn into something, but I'm just going to first find the center point here. So I'm at my current lathe has a 14-inch capacity, so I've set this guy for 7-inch diameter. I'm keeping these square, so this is defining the outside diameter. Okay. So next thing I got to do is figure out how many rings. So each ring, these will be cut at a 45-degree angle, and then the halves will be reassembled and they'll be stacked on top of one another. So that'll sort of become obvious when we actually do it. But for right now, I need to go do a little bit of drawing and a little bit of thinking and figure out how wide to make each one of these rings and how many rings, and then I'll come back and measure and draw those. So I just sort of put a clamp on here temporarily to hold this in position. So I want my base to be about 4-inch diameter. So I've set my compass here to 2 1/4, so that'll give me about 4 1/2. Remember, this is going to be cut at a 45-degree angle. So this is going to make my center circle. So I ended up with right around 5/8 in thickness when I was done. So I want my top layer to actually be able to flare out a little bit versus just a straight 45-degree angle. So if I was going to go straight 45, I would come in that 5/8 from the edge. I want to go a little bit more than that. So I'm just going to start making some marks here. I'm going to make this first mark about 3/4 of an inch in, and then from there I'm going to go probably stick at 3/4. That'll give me a little bit more flexibility with when I start to turn in how I'm going to be sort of creating the shape of the bowl itself. So that gives me all. I don't have to measure those now. This guy can come up out of the way. Hopefully that's not in the way of the camera, you can see. So I just set using these marks I just created. Tighten that down. Here's a two. It's not quite so we can land this side. Okay, so there they all are marked. There's a lot of rings here. They're pretty narrow. Set me up. Change it to 45 degrees. Just a little 45. Okay, so that should be good. This is basically just a screw chuck for my lathe. I'm going to use this as a waste block. I'm going to glue this on here, and then everything is going to come out off of here. So it's really important that that be really, really well centered. I got pretty thin walls on this, and if this is spinning off center, non-concentric, I'm going to lose even more because of the wobble. So get this flat, glue it on here, and then we'll start sequentially gluing these on. Just being very careful to get them aligned at each step as we go. So nothing terribly exciting there, but we'll just start doing some gluing. So there she is. So it's ready to mount on the lathe. The fifth time back and forth. Let's see what we got this time. All right, I'm turning the speed all the way down, just to be careful. All right, I got quite a bit of wobble here, so that's going to cost me some thickness, and I'm just going to have to take it really, really slow as I take material off, and that wobble will get better as I start removing the imbalances as we work. So. Alright, let's switch back. Let's go. Oh yeah. Pretty pleased with that. So this has 2 coats of polyurethane on it, dried, sanded in between. Now I'm going to polish it up with Yorkshire grit. So rub it in generously so there's some on everywhere. Clean paper towel, wipe it all off. Still coming off on the paper towel, so a little bit more. Now I'm going to use a Hampshire Sheen High Gloss. Looks great, feels beautiful, nice and silky.